Okay, we're going to go ahead and make the sports bottle. And the sports bottle has two parts, the bottle itself and then a cap. So this will be broken up into at least two tutorials. So we're going to start with the sports bottle. Let's first skim through a few pages here. Let's just jump up to page 15 and skim through what they're going to have us do. We're going to draw two circles. And what you want to be careful about when you're looking through the tutorial is that you read the paragraphs. And this tutorial was actually written for a previous version of the software, so not everything in here is exactly the way Creo Parametric 2.0 is laid out. But you want to look for the correct numbers or dimensions that are actually in the paragraphing. Don't go off of the dimensions or numbers that are actually in the drawing itself. These are just weak dimensions. So it looks like they're going to have us draw two circles, one smaller than the other, and then we're going to make what's called a tangent line, or it's going to touch here and it's going to touch here, and there's like a mathematical formula that the computer uses to find those exact tangencies. And once you've done a second tangent line down there, we'll go ahead and trim it, and then we'll dimension the drawing. It looks like the small circle is 25, the large circle is 65, and the distance between them is 65. So let's just go ahead and start with that. So we're going to go to Creo Parametric, set our working directory. So I'm going to go to my H drive, my Creo folder, and I've created a bottle folder. So I'm going to right click and set working directory, and I'm going to make this bottle, and it is a part. So click OK. Now I'm going to draw this drawing from the top view because that's the way we're looking at the bottle, is we're drawing it from the top. So I'm going to click extrude, and we're going to go ahead and click on the top view. So we're going to click this top plane, and then I always want to click sketch view, which is going to orient the way I look at the drawing from the plane that I selected. So we're going to go ahead and put in those two circles. You can put the small circle on the left and the big circle on the right. And I would probably try to align these circles with each other horizontally. Now notice how when I make the circles similar in size, there's like a little green text popping up. That actually says R1, R1, meaning it'll lock in the radiuses to be equal from now on. Well, we don't want that to be true, so we're going to purposefully make this bigger. Okay, so when I middle click, you can see the weak dimensions. These are always weak dimensions of how you roughly drew the circles when you got started. Now do not use a normal line chain to connect the circles, because you don't have the ability to locate the tangent point on the circle relative to the place you're going on the second circle. So we have to actually select the pull down menu here under line and go to line tangent. Then the circle will highlight in green. We're going to click it, and you can see that it should here. It'll follow me around with a line, and then I want to come up near where the tangency is going to be, and it's going to go T for tangent, T for tangent. Then we'll click on the second circle, bring it near the big circle, and click again. You got T for tangent, T for tangent. Now we can go ahead and put our dimensions in. Now you might be able to get enough dimensions to pop up for you automatically, but you're probably going to have to add some of your own. So if you need to add a diameter dimension, if you recall from another tutorial, we're going to double click the circle and middle click, and this is going to be 25. And then we're going to go ahead and add a dimension in here, so double click, middle click, and 65 is our diameter. And then we need a distance between the center points. So we're going to, on the dimension tool, we're going to click center point, and middle click, and this sets our dimension between the center points of 65. Enter. Now it's the correct size. So go ahead and get your delete segment tool, and you're going to go ahead and trim out these internal lines that we don't need anymore. You want to be careful that you get every internal line deleted, because if you look here, I zoom in, I've got a little piece hanging off of here. If I were to green check mark, it would say section incomplete. I cannot make a 3D drawing is basically what it's saying, because it doesn't know what to do with these little pieces left over. So we got to make sure that we get everything trimmed out so you have one closed object. And so now that we've done that, we should be good. We can green check mark, and it makes it three-dimensional, and it's starting to look more like a bottle. Now the height that it calls for is 160. We'll go ahead and type that in, and we'll accept it. And this is the first part of our bottle. And then we're going to go ahead and do one more part of this on the actual tutorial itself, and that is the handle cutout. So if we look back at our drawing here, and we kind of skim forward, They're going to have us draw a circle, second circle, tangent lines, or you can actually use a normal line in this case too. And then we're going to dimension it, and that's what it's going to put it in the proper place. So if you skim on up to page 24 in your PDF tutorial here, then what you can do is you can see that here's how it's laid out. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. But A, as labeled on the drawing, between the side and the side of the handle cutout, and then they label A down here at the bottom. The width of the handle profile, 30. So the distance between here is 30. Then they say B is the distance from the handle to the bottle side, so from here to there. And then C is 30, from there to a center line. Notice the center line's kind of out here in the middle of space. Okay? And then D is the distance from bottle top to handle top. So D is 20 and E is 20. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go back to Creo. And this is actually a revolve. So you do need to read your instructions to find this. We're not doing an extrude here. We're doing a revolve, which is going to give us a nice ergonomic fit to our hand on the actual cutout. So we're going to go revolve, and you have to select the plane that's cutting through the bottle. So it may not be called front for you, but whatever that plane is called right there, that's the one you want to click on. And then we're going to go sketch view, like always. Get used to going to sketch view. So we're going to go ahead and drop our center line in because we're doing a revolve, and I'm just going to place it out here. I don't know exactly where that's at, but that's okay. We'll dimension it correctly later. And then go ahead and place a circle right here. Just guess. That's what's kind of odd about this type of drawing program is we're doing a lot of guessing initially. And go ahead and make these two circles the same size. So R1, R1. And then they say you can use a tangent line. You can also use a line chain if you want, because you're going to from quadrant point, which is the east point. So quadrant points are north, south, east, west. So if you're going from east to east, you can actually use a normal line chain. Middle click to end that line. And then we're going to go from the left side to the left side again, and middle click. And so we've got this basic elongated handle cut out there. So let's go ahead and delete the internal line here. And then we just have to dimension everything correctly. So if we go to our dimensions, it's giving us radius here. Now most of these dimensions are not usable. I would just follow what the book says. And it says from the right side of the handle cutout to the left side, middle click is going to be 30. So let's just type that in. Then the left side of the handle cutout to the edge of the bottle is going to be 25. And then from the side of the bottle to the center line is a 30. And then this is a common mistake. The top of the handle cutout to the top of the bottle, this is going to be 20. But what a lot of kids accidentally do is they go from the center point to the top of the bottle and they make that 20, but it's actually the top of the arc there. And then bottom of handle cutout to bottom of bottle, middle click, 20 again. So it's done. All dimensions are correct, and we're going to go ahead and accept that. And you can see it's going to spin around that closed shape around that center line that I placed out here. Now, if you just accept it like this, it's going to add a solid material. What we actually want to do is remove material, and you see it's going to cut that nice handle cut out of there, and your hand's actually going to wrap inside of there, and it'll be more comfortable because it's a revolve and not an extrude. So we'll go ahead and accept that. Okay, so this will end the first tutorial on the bottle. We'll go ahead and break this bottle up into two drawings probably, or two videos that is.